Now, the wine market in Africa has been going from strength to strength. It's increasingly popular amongst the continent's growing urban middle class, wielding hefty spending power. Revenue for the region's already topped $9 billion for this year, and that's expected to grow by almost 4% annually until 2027. Now, here in France, Nigerian Chinedu Rosa is a rare voice in the sector and the founder of Vines by Rosa in Bordeaux. She's a wine expert who runs a consultancy that creates bridges between French and European wineries and African markets. She joins me now. Chinedu, thanks so much for speaking to me. Now, let's start off with your own particular story. You used to be a banker. What made you make the leap from the world of finance into the world of wine?
Thank you so much for having me, my dear. Unfortunately, my voice is quite bad because of I'm right in the middle of the mental week. But to answer your question, yes, I was a banker. And my late husband at the time, he was importing wines. And the wines he was importing wasn't great. So I said to him, even for €2, I'm sure we can find something better. And voila, I started coming to France and I was doing wine selections. And that was how it started. And I just fell in love.
So I started off by talking about how robust the wine market in Africa is. Do you agree? What more insight can you give us? And how do European wineries cater to that potential?
Well, Georgia, to be truthful, the potential of the Nigerian wine market is enormous. It's growing and growing every day. We are going close to over $9 billion. And honestly, European wine market need to step up. The American market is doing a good job. Some of the European markets are doing a good job. But why I am here specifically in Bordeaux and France is to help them work on their marketing skills and really going into the African market themselves, seeing what is loved by the Africans, and really creating a partnership between the African wine importers, the people who drink their wine, and also opening the door for them to experience more about the wine. And there's business to be done for everybody. It's enormous. You just can't believe it.
But when you're saying cater specifically to what African markets are looking for, what is that? Is it any different from what markets in other regions in the world may or may not be looking for?
Definitely. When they wanted to go into the Chinese market, they spent the time to study the people, study the market, study the culture. When you want to go into a country, you need to study what makes them, what's their taste buds are like, what they like to eat. What I like to eat is not what the Frenchman would like to eat. I can put some spices and they would not understand it. So what kind of wine can actually pair with the foods from Africa? That is the first key. And then you education, letting people know why this wine works with their food. It's all about investment, investing in the people who are ready to be your clients. And that is key for the French market. And that's what I want to do.
When it comes to education, that is something that's very much at the heart of some of the work that you've been doing. I understand that we've caught you right bang in the middle of a very particular week. And that's actually part of your attempts at trying to introduce diversity specifically into the Bordeaux wine scene. How do you do that? And why do you think it's so important?
I am very lucky to have a fantastic partner and friend. Her name is Jane Hansen, a worldwide known wine critic specialized in Bordeaux. And she did a write-up about me on in Decanter magazine. And when I told her my story about coming to Bordeaux, not being able to find a job, even as a wine expert who had been working in the wine industry since 1999, she was shocked. She was like, that's not possible. I told her, yes, it is. Even for those who knew me, I came here and nobody gave me a job. And I now had to create my own business. And because I have created a business that became, let's say, successful, becoming known by people, I just feel the need for other people not to have to go through the troubles I went through. And I said to her, we need to open Bordeaux. We need to show people that you don't have to be the same color. You don't have to have blue eyes. You don't have to have blonde hair to work in the Bordeaux wine world. You don't have to even speak French. The beauty of the wine industry is the love of wine. And if we could only just understand that and encourage people from every other part of the world to come into the wine business here in Bordeaux, we would be better for it. Bordeaux business started with Danish and English wine merchants. So foreigners have always played a big part in the Bordeaux industry. So why would that not also continue? So
Chinedu?
Yes.
Chinedu Rosa, thank you so much for giving us an insight into the work that you're doing, and we wish you the very best of luck with the rest of your mentoring week that I believe you're currently holding in Bordeaux at the moment. That is, though, unfortunately all that we have time for Eye on Africa at the moment.